Here's a different way I want you to think about your products that you're selling. The products that you're selling isn't always what the customer's buying. Now, I don't mean literally, yes, they're buying your products, but some of them are buying them not because they're products, but because they're serving another purpose. Think about Valentine's Day. If your customers are buying filet mignon, they're likely looking for a good dinner that's going to impress their significant other. If someone's buying a Christmas bundle for you, sure, it could be they're buying it because they want to eat it for food, but it could be fulfilling the role of a gift. They need a gift for someone, and this sounds perfect. Once you understand that about your products, you'll start to see opportunities everywhere. So this is what we're talking about in Module 9, getting creative with your products. Bundles, seasons, and selling what people actually want. So a lot of farms, obviously we sell products, but we sell retail cuts. We sell individual cuts, or if you're a vegetable farm, you're selling individual vegetables, or you may even be selling a CSA. And this obviously works. We're selling products, but at the same time, you could be leaving money on the table if customers don't know how that product works, if customers don't know how to cook that, if customers don't know if they're getting themselves into something that's going to be more trouble than it's worth. Farms that are doing business or that are moving lots of product in a meaningful way have figured this out, and they've learned to package those products in a way that matches what the customer's already looking for or what they're thinking about. They're addressing pain points. Then you've got the problem of slow movers, products that you just don't sell a lot. That could be chuck roast during the summer. You know, everybody's buying steaks and grilling items then. That could be organ meats that sometimes sit around forever. Chicken backs, pork fat. These products are actually awesome, but they're not selling. And the thing is, they're not unsellable. They just need to be packaged differently. They need to be presented differently. So here's a couple rules that we follow at Longbottom Farm that I think will help your farm when it comes to presenting your products and hopefully selling more of your products. Customers are often buying an outcome, not a product. Our job as farmers is to try to figure out what those outcomes are and then build the product around that. A lot of us do this today. We talk about omega-3 to omega-6 ratios. We talk about animals on pasture versus animals in a confinement lot. But a lot of what I see too is naming the features and not the benefits. Customers may not care specifically that your animals are grass-fed. They care about getting a healthier product in their body. Customers may not care that you're rotationally grazing or you're adding organic things to the soil. They care about the environment and want to know that their money is going to something that's going to make them feel good about where they're contributing their money. So when you're thinking about marketing your products, think about the customer's pain points. Think about their outcomes, what the customers are what they really want. Think about yourself when you're buying these things. What do you want? What appeals to it in you? That'll help you promote your products in a way that is selling the benefits of the product and not the features. Holiday and seasonal bundling. This is a great way to move product because, one, a lot of people are eating around the holidays. And it's when everyone gets together at the table. It's when families get together and they're eating a lot more. They're planning the day around the meal sometimes. So putting together a bundle that will serve a family of 2. Some people don't have big families. So put together a steak for 2 bundle. Then think about, okay, maybe a lot of them are families 4 to 6. Put together a bigger bundle there. That might have 4 steaks in it. That might have 6 steaks in it. That might have a combination of steaks and a ham. A lot of people eat ham around the holidays. Here at Longbottom Farm, we had some products that weren't moving a lot, so we put together what's called a comfort food bundle. And it's just what you would think. It's kind of comfort foods for when it's cold in the winter. It's roast. It's a couple pounds of fat that can be rendered into lard. It's chicken backs and chicken feet that can make broth. So again, trying to appeal not so much to what the people are eating, but appealing to the season, appealing to the benefits. This is going to make you feel better. This is warm during the winter. These are ways that you can move some of these products that you wouldn't otherwise be moving. And it's also a way of actually addressing needs that the customers have. Sometimes the need is for food or a meal, but sometimes the need is to give a gift, or they're planning a big meal for a family and they just want to get all this meat all together. You've created a bundle that solves that problem. And then when you're doing these bundles, think about naming. Naming matters. Again, comfort food bundle. That hopefully elicits a warm feeling. This is something that we move during the winter time. And then we've gotten creative with stuff. We named one a Porkapalooza bundle, like Lollapalooza, and had all these little definitions like the pork chops are the stars of the show, and they had options to pick things. We picked choose your fighter, you know, trying to appeal to people's pop culture side. Sometimes naming things in that way will help you move more product. Again, people that aren't into that still understand what it is, we have big descriptions and everything that go into all that. But again, if you can interject humor, if you can elicit emotion out of the customer, you're gonna sell a lot more products. And then just the seasons themselves. Seasons will drive urgency. Farms are cyclical. There are times, especially vegetable farms, stuff like that, where you're not gonna have a lot of products. Use that to your advantage. Run sales in the summer when you're way overstocked in product. Then when wintertime comes, sell as many products as you can, and then maybe freeze some of that stuff. Call it a pot roast bundle, carrots or celery or something packaged up into little frozen packages that they can just dump into their pot roast. Again, when you can make it simple for the customer, or if you have customers that are worried about cooking and you're solving that problem by just saying, hey, dump these ingredients in here, done, you're gonna move more product. A lot of this actually refers to the last video we did on friction. Again, this is removing doubt and removing fear from what customers may have of your products, of preparing your products. If you can fix that by the name, by good instructions, by good photography, letting them know what the outcome will be, you're gonna sell more products. And then something else we've done at Longbottom Farm is study other farms. Look at some of the bigger farms they're marketing. It's not looking at what they're actually selling, but knowing some of this that I'm talking about now, look at where they're trying to use some of these things. You're gonna start to see these things differently and you're gonna be like, I see what they're doing there. It's just an abundance of resources that can give you ideas for your farm. One thing we've done on our farm is I sign up for emails to a ton of other farms just so I can see what they're promoting, how they're promoting it. Are they selling features? Are they selling benefits? But that's helped me refine my emails and how I market to my customers. So study other farms. There's a lot you can learn from that. And I stress, you're not copying farms. You're selling meat. There's only so many ways you can do that. So, and I'm not saying to copy the exact wording that they used or copy the exact name that they used for their product, but just study their methods. Again, it's gonna make you a better farmer. It's gonna help you move more product. CSAs and subscriptions. This is an easy way to take remembering to order off of the customer's plate. If you can make it easy for them to set up a monthly delivery or CSAs, a monthly box being brought to their house, well, that's a win for you as the farm because a lot of these customers are pre-committing and they're prepaying, and it's a win for the customer because now they can focus on other things just knowing that every month they're gonna get a supply of goods brought to their house. So I've mentioned a few things that we did at Longbottom Farm. This is something we still do to this day. I'm still following emails. I'm still looking at my products thinking, okay, how can I make these more appealing to customers? But not just a description saying, it's good or, how it's raised, but thinking about the struggles, the fears, the pain points that customers are experiencing, and then trying to take what I have, which is beef, pork, eggs, and how those can solve that pain point. And that could be, again, recipes, good way to do it. We did a breakfast bundle. That includes a pound of bacon, a dozen eggs. We have a signature coffee that we do with a local coffee shop here, and a pound of sausage. Bundled that all into a bundle. That was a huge seller for us. These are cuts we may not have sold we may not have sold that coffee. We may not have sold that pound of sausage. But customers see this and they think, breakfast is figured out. I've got everything I need here. And some of you are probably wondering how we price things with bundling. We generally offer a little discount. And that's because these customers are ordering more at one time. They're spending more money. It helps us as a farm because it's moving a lot of cuts. It's more money coming in. It helps them because they're going to get a small discount for doing that. Again, it's a win-win. They get a small discount, you move more cuts. So we take an average of all the items that we're putting together and put it into a spreadsheet and then just take 10% off, something like that. And that's how we price it. I also, which we do with our websites through Homegrown Hosting, is the ability that we will put the original price up there and then have a line through it so that the customers can see the sale price. Again, you're appealing to people's needs, especially this day and age, want to save money. So they see that sale badge, they see that regular price crossed out and a cheaper price, it automatically lets them know that, hey, this is a deal. And going back to other farms, I cannot stress to follow other farms. You're going to learn, a lot of this is not reinventing the wheel. You don't know what you don't know. And following other farms, you're going to learn these things. A lot of other farms have already figured these things out. So follow what they do. Again, you're not copying them, you're learning from them. They learned from someone else. It's just passing it on. So follow other farms. That could be signing up for their emails. That could be seeing what they're doing at the farmer's market. Just try to look at their operation, see what they're doing. I don't advise you to go to these farms and ask, can I follow you around? You're a farmer, you're busy. But sign up for their emails, see what they're doing online. Do they have a YouTube channel? And these are all ways you can learn what they're doing. Here's a framework we use on our farm when creating a bundle. And I think this might help you with, if you've got a lot of products around, this might help you kind of bring it in a little bit more and come up with some ideas you might not have thought of. Number one, what is the customer thinking about right now? Is it Christmas? Is it a holiday? What season is it? What kind of life events might someone be going through? Weddings, birthdays, retirements, or any of these meal occasions. Once you kind of think about that context, then start thinking about, okay, what products do I have that could possibly fit some of these scenarios? You know, again, I'll just go by classic example. Roast in the winter, always a seller, always a winner. Steaks in the summer, people love to grill. Outdoor parties. And then what name and descriptions can you give these products that are not just going to tell about your farm or what the product is, they're going to tell the customer what the outcomes are. What outcomes can these create for the customer? You know, I talk about Donald Miller a lot. His book is one of these sides, Story Brand. I can't recommend it enough. His whole philosophy is that we need to treat the customers as the hero of this story. When I build websites for farms, that's how I try to approach it. It's not, hey, here I am, this is what I sell. It's, hey, this is what we have for you, the customer, and this is how these can help you, the customer. These are how they're going to make your life better. This is how this is going to be better for you. Again, it's not I, me, it's you, the customer. It's making them the hero and how what you are doing can help them. If you think about you're writing your copy, your marketing, your products, and everything you're doing on the farm in that context, you're going to sell a lot more product. You don't need a marketing degree for this. You just need to think like a customer. You're a customer. You buy stuff. Think about why you're buying these things. Think about why you want things. Put yourself in their shoes, and that's going to help you when you're putting your product out there to them. Now, I'm going to put the honest hat on here because, you know, a lot of this is talking about you can move more product, you can make more money, but there are some caveats here, and I try to point this out in every video and give you the real side of things too. And one thing's bundles and appealing to the customer and stuff, that's going to be great for moving products. If you have a sourcing problem, it's not going to fix that. It will help with your marketing, but if you're not taking what you've learned here and figured out a way to get it in front of eyes, it's not going to help. You know, putting these together and learning this, you know, you can learn something from everything. You might put together some of these bundles and you find they don't sell. You may think you've nailed it and you've got it and it doesn't sell. You got to ask yourself why though, and you can learn from that. And that's going to make you come up with better ideas. That's going to make you realize maybe something that you thought was true isn't. It's going to make you realize that, okay, maybe this is true, but now I realize there's a whole nother facet of this thing that, you know, I'm not getting in front of eyes. We did a video about that, I think 2 videos ago. If you look in the Part-Time Farmer Playbook courses, you'll see that video. But when you don't move something or something doesn't work, they're not coming in, try to look at that and just figure out why. Think about it objectively. Think about, as a customer, maybe why you don't buy something. Think about your customers. Try to be them and think, why wouldn't they buy from me? Is it because they don't know you're there? Is it because you've got a lot of friction in your process? Is it because you're not selling the outcomes that they want? We want to sell stuff, we want to make money, but something not working can teach you a lot. They can then help you fix that problem. And then on the other side of that, don't try to get so super clever and creative that it becomes a whole monster in itself. That's not what this is about. Simple and clear will beat trying to be clever and super creative every time. It's not to say you can't be creative, but what I'm saying is don't bet the farm on that. Don't put so much into it that then it just becomes this whole other thing that's either weird or unsustainable or has nothing to do with what you started. Just think like a customer. All right, so what can you do this week? How can you put this into practice? Here's an easy way to get started. Look at what's in your inventory right now. See what you have, just not planning to do anything with it. Just take a mental note. What do you have a lot of? How many different products do you have? Then look at what's on the calendar. What events are coming up? What holidays are coming up? What season are you in? You know, right now it's spring, it's getting warm. That automatically makes me think as a farm, grilling, outdoor get-togethers, and warmer weather. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I'm thinking of, okay, what kind of bundles, who would I be marketing to, and what problems can I solve for the events and the things that people are going to be experiencing right now. So take what you've got, a bunch of lists of things, look at what holidays, what events are coming up, and then put those together and see what products that you can maybe match to those events, that season, those things that are going on. And then name it something that you think the customer's buying. And I don't mean the product. Yes, they're buying a steak or they're buying a roast, but what event, what products did you put together? Try to just come up with a name that more appeals to the event that's happening, the problem that you're solving. You know, if I'm being real simple, you know, Christmas dinner meal. Everybody eats dinner around Christmas. Put together some roast and a ham. You know, Thanksgiving, obviously turkeys. If you're doing turkey, that's a no-brainer. Grilling season, obviously steaks, pork chops, brats, hamburgers. And if you're doing veggies, think about all the things that go with those things. Think about shish kebabs and skewers. You know, what vegetables are people putting on those? And then if you have an online store or you have somewhere that you're actually selling your product, put that bundle together, put it on there and list it. Give it a price. I recommend taking the average price of all the cuts you put in there and then taking about 10% off of it and see if it sells. Then if it does sell, try to get feedback from the customers that bought it. Ask them why they bought it. Ask them what led them to buy it. A lot of times when you're trying to figure out marketing and why things are working or why they're not, ask your customers. They'll tell you. And that's about all I've got for this week. If you are selling products, but you're dealing with DMs and text messages and you don't have a good place to sell them, a website's an obvious choice, and that's what we do at Homegrown Hosting. Just fill out the 5-minute questionnaire at homegrownhosting.com. I'll send you a plan for your farm that'll allow you to tell your story, take orders, and collect payments while you're out farming or while you're sleeping. All right, guys, another video coming up next week. We're getting near the end of this. We got 2 more to go. And thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.